This serial killer documentary explores one of the most disturbing cases in criminal history. This is the story of a real-life serial killer documentary subject that still shocks investigators today. This is the case of Ted Bundy, one of the most infamous figures ever featured in any serial killer documentary. In this serial killer documentary, we begin with Bundy's early life. Born in 1946, Ted Bundy appeared completely normal. He was intelligent, soft-spoken, and socially confident. Nothing in his early behavior suggested what this serial killer documentary would later reveal about him. As this serial killer documentary continues, the 1970s marked the beginning of a terrifying pattern. Young women began disappearing across several U.S. states. At first, investigators treated the cases separately, but this serial killer documentary uncovers how patterns slowly pointed toward one man, Ted Bundy. A key focus of this serial killer documentary is Bundy's method. Ted Bundy used charm and deception as weapons. He often pretended to be injured or in need of help. This tactic, highlighted throughout every serial killer documentary about him, allowed him to gain trust before committing his crimes. Law enforcement struggled as Ted Bundy continued to evade capture. This serial killer documentary shows how his intelligence and manipulation helped him escape suspicion multiple times, even managing to break free from custody, an event often replayed in every serial killer documentary about his crimes. Despite growing evidence, Ted Bundy denied everything. In this serial killer documentary, we see how he even represented himself in court, using legal knowledge to delay justice. His courtroom behavior became a major focus in every serial killer documentary covering his trial. As this serial killer documentary reaches its turning point, forensic evidence and witness testimony finally built a strong case against Ted Bundy. By 1978, after multiple escapes and renewed attacks, Ted Bundy was finally captured in Florida, one of the most dramatic moments in any serial killer documentary. Even after arrest, Ted Bundy continued to deny responsibility. This serial killer documentary highlights how he manipulated interviews, media attention, and public perception until the very end. In 1989, Ted Bundy was executed, closing one of the most infamous cases ever covered in a serial killer documentary. What makes this serial killer documentary still relevant today is the psychological contrast. Ted Bundy did not fit the expected image of danger. Instead, this serial killer documentary shows how normal appearance can hide extreme criminal behavior. Modern criminology still studies Ted Bundy through serial killer documentary analysis to understand manipulation, deception, and psychological profiling. Every serial killer documentary about him reinforces one key lesson: danger does not always look dangerous. In conclusion, this serial killer documentary on Ted Bundy is not just about crime. It is about understanding how one of history's most infamous serial killers operated, and why Ted Bundy remains a central figure in every serial killer documentary today. If you found this serial killer documentary insightful, make sure to like, share, and subscribe for more deep dives into real-life cases like Ted Bundy. Every serial killer documentary we cover helps uncover the psychology behind the world's most disturbing criminals. Stay aware, stay informed, and we'll see you in the next video.